Welcome, my friends. Come a little closer and let your day get quiet. Imagine a small room with a wooden floor. The air is cool, a window is open just a bit, and you can hear soft city sounds far away. Somewhere, water is running like a gentle stream. There is a clean smell in the air, simple and calm, like cloth drying in the light. Close your eyes and picture your hands. They carry the world. Close your eyes and hear a splash in a bowl, and the slow rub-rub sound of washing. Imagine warm steam rising, and tiny bubbles catching the light. Imagine a bar of soap resting on a dish, quiet waiting. Have you ever wondered why we use soap almost every day? Did you ever think about who first made it? How did people clean before soap was common? Why do bubbles feel like safety? What if you had only water, would that be enough? Have you ever smelled soap and felt a memory wake up, like a small home inside your heart? Today we will walk back in time in simple English and learn through a real story. The story of soap and how it became a daily habit around the world. Long ago, people still wanted to feel clean. They worked in dust and smoke. They cooked over fire. They sweated in the sun. So they looked for ways to wash. At first, water was the main helper. Rivers rained simple bowls. But here's the surprising thing: water alone cannot always lift away oily dirt. Oil likes to stick. It clings to skin like a thin coat. And that's when people started to notice something strange. After a fire, there was ash. Ash is the soft gray powder left after wood burns. When rain touched ash, it made a sharp, slippery water. Some people felt it on their fingers. It did not feel like normal water. It could cut through grease on a pot. Why did that happen? Many accounts describe people mixing ash water with animal fat or plant oil by accident. Fat and oil were common in cooking, so a pot of fire, ash, and fat could meet again and again. Over time, people saw a pattern. They learned. If you mix certain ashes with fat and heat, you can make a new thing. It can clean. It can make foam. Foam is the soft bubbles you see when you rub with water. But the first soaps were not always gentle. They could be rough. They could smell strong. Some people said, "Why use that? It hurts." Others feared it might harm the skin. And some laughed because it looked like a strange block from a dirty pot. The doubt was real. Still, the dream was also real. The dream was simple: to feel fresh, to keep sickness away, to bring comfort into daily life. People did not know about germs the way we know today. Germs are tiny living things you cannot see that can make you sick. But even without that word, people could feel a truth. Cleaning mattered. And hope grew from that truth. Here's the surprising thing: soap acts like a smart bridge. One side of soap likes oil. The other side likes water. So soap can grab oily dirt and pull it into the water. That's why washing with soap works so well. Isn't it like a small team holding hands, one hand in oil, one hand in water so the dirt can leave? As towns became cities, the need for cleanliness became bigger. More people lived close together. Streets were crowded. Water had to be carried. Waste had to be moved away. So clean habits started to feel like courage. People tried to protect their homes and children. In some places, soap makers became skilled workers. They learned which oils were better. They learned how long to heat the mix, and how to let it rest. Rest mattered because soap needed time to become firm and calmer on skin. Some soap was made for clothes. Some was made for the body. Can you imagine saving a good soap for a special bath? And that's when another change came. Soap could carry smell. It could hold herbs and flowers. It could be shaped and cut. It could become a small gift. Have you ever held a soap and thought, "This feels like light"? But then there was a problem: soap was not easy for everyone to get. Good oils cost money. Skilled work took time. Travel was hard. So soap could be rare, like a small treasure. Some people washed with sand or certain plants. Some used only water and cloth. Many simply lived with what they had. Still, the idea kept traveling. Traders carried goods across seas and roads. Travelers shared habits. A traveler might say, "Try this. Rub it with water." A neighbor might watch and copy. Little by little, soap moved from place to place, like a quiet story passed hand to hand. Say it with me. Clean hands feel safe. One more time. Clean hands feel safe. Here's the surprising thing: soap was also connected to work. Not only comfort. People needed to clean cloth, pots, tools, and small wounds. So soap became part of daily effort, like water and fire. But then something changed. Life became faster, and people wanted soap that was easier to find and use. They wanted it in homes, schools, and busy streets. They wanted it when they felt tired and when they wanted a fresh start. So the soap story moved into a new chapter. In that next chapter, soap will begin to enter many homes, not as a rare treasure, but as a daily friend. How did that happen? Who helped make soap more common? Keep those questions warm in your mind, like a candle of hope in quiet light. The dream of soap becoming a daily friend did not happen in one day. It happened slowly, like morning light spreading across a room. People shared ideas, they tested recipes, they improved tools, they learned from mistakes, and little by little, soap moved closer to ordinary life. But then there was a problem. If soap is made in small batches, it is hard to make enough for many people. A batch is one group made at one time. If a town grows, one small workshop cannot keep up. So some places began to produce soap in larger ways. Not everyone liked that change. Some people said, big making means lower quality. Others said, it will cost less, and more families can buy it. Who was right? Maybe both in different moments. As soap spread, it also changed its place in the mind. It was not only for washing dirt. It became connected to health, and to the idea of a good home. Home is not only a building. In simple words, home is the place where you feel safe. And soap began to feel like part of that safety. Here's the surprising thing: many people did not need a big reason to love soap. They only needed the feeling after washing. Smooth skin, clean hair, fresh clothes, a calm smell on the hands. The body felt lighter. The mind felt clearer. Have you ever washed your face and felt your heart slow down? But then something changed over time. People started to talk more about sickness and cleanliness together. Even if records differ from place to place, many communities noticed that washing helped. They may not have known every cause, but they saw results. When people wash, fewer problems spread. When hands are cleaner, food is safer. When clothes are washed, the home feels better. That's why soap began to enter daily routines. Try this phrase: I wash my hands. Say it with me. I wash my hands. One more time. I wash my hands. Now think about the moment before a meal. A bowl on the table, warm steam, a friend's voice, and your hands carrying the day. It feels natural to wash. But have you ever asked why it feels so natural now? Did you ever wonder how a habit becomes normal for millions of people? Habits grow when they fit into life. Soap fits in many small moments: after work, after cooking, after the street, before sleep, after you hold a baby, after you clean a room. Soap became like a quiet helper that stands near water and waits. It does not shout, it simply offers change. And that's when soap began to appear in shared places too. Schools, workrooms, public wash areas. Even if the style differed from country to country, the idea was the same. Soap belongs where people meet, because people meet and they touch the same things: doors, cups, tools, money, and then they touch their faces without thinking. Have you ever noticed how often your hand goes to your eyes or mouth? Here's the surprising thing: soap is also a story of kindness. Not big kindness with speeches. Small kindness with care. When you wash before you cook for someone, you are saying, I want you safe. When you wash a child's hands, you are saying, I am here. When you clean a wound gently, you are saying, you matter. This is soap's quiet voice. But then there was a threat: daily life can make us forget. When life is busy, we rush. We skip steps. We say, just this once. We may not wash long enough, or we may not wash at all. And that's when problems can return, like dust coming back through an open window. So people began to teach washing more clearly. Not as a hard rule, but as a simple habit: wet hands, add soap, rub well, rinse, dry. These steps became a kind of small rhythm, like a short song you can do without thinking. Isn't it interesting how the body can learn a routine and keep it for years? Repeat after me: rinse and dry again. Rub, rinse and dry. The story of soap is also tied to the idea of change. People learn to change the way they care for their bodies. They learn to change what they expect in a home. Long ago, a rough cloth and water could be enough for many. Later, people began to expect a cleaner smell, cleaner hands, cleaner clothes. That expectation spread like hope, passing from one family to another. Have you ever smelled soap in a bathroom and thought, someone was here before me? Have you ever felt soap on your skin and remembered your childhood home? Why does that simple smell hold so much? What if soap is not just about dirt, but also about comfort? Here's the surprising thing: soap became part of the day in a way that feels almost invisible. You do it before you think. You do it while your mind is on other things. You do it while planning, worrying, dreaming. Soap works quietly in the background of human life, like light coming through curtains. But then something changed again. People began to use soap for more than the body. It became part of cleaning objects and spaces. It became part of feeling ready for the world. A clean collar, a fresh shirt, clean hands before writing, before working, before meeting someone. Soap became connected to respect. Respect for yourself and for others. Say it with me. I take care of myself. One more time, I take care of myself. And still, the soap story is not only about comfort. It is also about protection. When soap became easier to get, it helped more people take small daily steps toward health. Even if we do not know every detail of every place, we can say this. Soap became a tool that many people trusted. It became part of everyday courage. Now we are close to the turning point of our story. Because once soap is in many homes, the question changes. It is no longer what is soap. It becomes how do we use it well, every day. And also, why do we still need it, even now? In the last part, we will step into the legacy of soap. We will see how this small object became a daily habit around the world, and why it still matters to your own life tonight. Now, my friends, let us bring our feet back to the present, but keep the story in our hands. Think about your day today. You touch your phone, a door handle, a table, a bag, a cup. You shake hands. You hold a child. You ride a bus. You cook. You clean. And then, without even planning it, you walk toward water. You reach for soap. You rub. You rinse. You dry. Isn't it strange how a habit can feel so normal, even though it came from a long human journey? Here's the surprising thing: soap is small, but it carries a big idea. The idea is simple. We can change the world a little with daily care. Not with loud power. Not with perfect life. Just with a few quiet steps again and again. And that's where hope lives. But then there is a problem: when something becomes normal, we stop seeing it. We forget how much work, learning, and sharing is inside that simple bar or bottle. We forget that many people in history had to solve small problems with what they had. Fire, ash, fat, oil, water, patience. We forget the courage it took to try something new, even when others laughed. Have you ever tried a new habit and heard someone say, "Why bother?" Did you keep going anyway? In many homes, soap became part of care between people. A parent washing a child's hands before eating. A friend offering a clean towel. A worker washing off a long day. A tired person washing their face before sleep, trying to feel human again. Soap became part of home, not only because it cleaned, but because it helped people feel safe together. Can you feel that warmth? Like a small lamp of light in a quiet room. Here's the surprising thing: washing is also a kind of pause. When you wash, you slow down for a moment. You look at your hands. You notice your breathing. You feel water, then foam, then clean skin. That pause can be a soft reset. It can help the mind step out of stress. Have you ever stood at a sink and felt the day fall away? Just a little. Try this phrase. Just a small step. Say it with me. Just a small step. Because that is what soap teaches. Clean is not only a big goal. Clean is a small step repeated. But then something changed. People began to connect soap with public life too. When many people live close together, daily habits become shared protection. If one person washes, it helps them. If many people wash, it helps everyone. That's why soap became more than a private choice. It became a quiet promise between strangers. Isn't that a beautiful thought? A promise made without words. And still, there is another twist. Soap is not magic. It does not fix everything. You still need time, water, and care. You need to rub well. You need to rinse. You need to dry. And you need to remember to do it, even when you are busy. That is the human part. Tools help, but habits save. That's when the story becomes about you. Repeat after me: I can build good habits. One more time: I can build good habits. Here's the surprising thing: the world is always changing. New places, new travel, new work, new worries. But the simple habit of washing stays steady. It is like a small anchor. An anchor is something that holds a boat in place. In simple words, it keeps you from drifting away. Soap can feel like that. A tiny anchor of calm and care, even when life moves fast. Have you ever noticed how soap is often near the entrance of daily life? Near kitchens, near bathrooms, near places where people begin and end their day. Why is that? Maybe because soap stands at the door between outside and inside. Outside can be loud and messy. Inside can be softer, cleaner, safer. Soap helps you cross that line. Isn't that a kind of light, guiding you back to yourself? But then there is one more problem. Sometimes we feel too tired to care. We say, I will do it later. We skip the small steps. And later, we may feel worse. The body feels heavy. The mind feels cloudy. So soap's lesson becomes gentle, not strict. Take care of yourself in small ways. Small care is still care. Small care can still grow into hope. Say it with me. I care for my health. Again, I care for my health. And now think about the legacy. Not a statue, not a big speech. The legacy of soap is in everyday life. It is in millions of sinks. It is in the quiet moments before meals, before sleep, after travel, after work. It is in the way families teach children without even thinking. We wash our hands. It is in the way friends share clean spaces. It is in the way you can feel ready to meet the world. Here's the surprising thing: when you use soap, you are joining a long line of human effort. You are holding a tiny piece of history in your palm. You are continuing a story of change that moved through many homes and many hands. And you are doing it in a way that is simple enough for anyone to learn. Isn't that what we want in life? Simple actions that bring real results. So tonight, as you listen, let the story settle. Let it be quiet and warm. Let it remind you that big change can begin with small daily steps. Let it remind you that care is a form of courage, and that hope can live in ordinary things. Think about your own life. What small habit is waiting for you? What will you build with simple steps, day by day, in the light of your own home? And when you feel tired, can you still choose one small act of care? Good night, my friends. Wash away the day gently and carry a little hope into your sleep.